Hello, one and all, and welcome to Absolute Bedlam Podcast. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Absolute Bedlam Podcast. Just quickly, I'm struggling to get these on audio platforms at the moment because Spotify has changed their profile. They've had a rebrand, and currently I'm only able to get episodes up on YouTube. So hopefully by the time this actually goes out, that will be a moot point and we'll be able to fix it. But currently it's YouTube or nothing. So if you are loyal, head over to the YouTube, drop me a subscribe, drop me a like, and all that usual bollocks that people say on YouTube. So we've got Mr. Steve Nichols. Don't even remember when I had you on, mate, but I remember there was a couple of times where I'd booked you in because I only had your email address back in the day. And I think one time you just didn't show up.
Really?
And then another time, yeah, I think so. I think you messaged me like a day afterwards going, "Oh, mate, I'm so sorry. I've missed your..."
Oh,
But
mate.
yeah, it's fine. It's the reality
Sorry.
of running a podcast is that, people have to make allowances and real life gets in the way, and we're doing this 15 minutes later than usual and all these things. Life is chaos, isn't it? So, but yeah, how have you been?
Good. Remind me the date we did the last one with the year.
Fuck it out, man. Oh my God. Bear with. I want to say it
Was
was December.
I doing any of my crazy ultra marathons and stuff like that?
I think you had Nick Dunn on your podcast a couple of weeks after we first met you.
Right.
I'm not
Okay.
sure about ultra marathons.
Yeah. I started doing ultra marathons and then I've stopped doing them. So yeah, it's been a while.
So 2 years ago, when was it?
So basically,
Yeah,
my
okay.
friend started up a charity in Liverpool for looking after veterans, homeless veterans, and that.
Yeah,
Called Block. So we raised some money for him. So we walked from Liverpool to the top of Snowdon in 3 days and
yeah.
raised the
I remember.
we
Yeah, I
raised
remember
a
you
bit of
saying
that. Um,
yeah,
so since then I've just been doing crazy, stupid long walks and stuff like that and runs and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, I ran from Liverpool to top of Pendle Hill. That was another 50 miler.
yeah,
That was for kids charity Derry House. We've done Hadrian's Wall. Um, we did 100 miler Leeds to Liverpool.
Jesus.
Yeah, since then I haven't run. Constantly injured.
Yeah,
But yeah, we raised quite a bit of money. We got recognised by the BBC. Um, and then yeah, won an award for
hmm.
raising money for different charities. So yeah, pretty cool.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
since then I'm just being a dad now and working and trying to relax.
Yeah, yeah, trying to, being the optimum.
But, yeah,
Fingers crossed for you, mate.
thanks.
So yeah, we recorded on the 5th of December 2021. So it's
Yeah,
actually nearly been 3 years since we had you on. So
yeah,
if you
it's gone.
scroll all the way down to the bottom of the YouTube channel, guys, it's episode 5. We are now on episode, I think, 164. So yeah, we've got a bit to catch up on.
Just a bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to let you kind of run the second part of the podcast, the second email that I've sent you. You can ask me whatever you want. I'm an open book. It's all good. But the first question I wanted to ask you since sort of get back in touch with you is how have you overall, since leaving the military, how have you overall found resettlement into real life, Civvy Street, as it's called? Have you enjoyed
Yeah,
it, or has it been a struggle overall? You can go into as much detail as you want. Obviously, you don't have to completely.
no, it's a struggle. It's been like I got out the military in 2012. You know what I mean? So it's been a while. You know what I mean since I've been in. It just shows how strong the conditioning really is in the military, because I'm still in that mind frame now. I'm still conditioned, if you like. So with me being regimented when it comes to routine, when it comes to bedtimes, getting up in the morning, what I do, what I wear, where I go, right down to me being in work, everything has to be done a million miles an hour. You know what I mean? So pushing and pushing, pushing to be the fastest, best, and that's still massively installed in me. And I think it washes off for me with my kids as well. The way I am with them, I'm not strict with them, but I have them in routines and stuff like that. But it comes to getting out, like I said, well, we talked about it briefly, like, and with other podcasts I've done, when I've got out, it was a massive culture shock for me. I really struggled, and it was that's what I think that's what contributed to me walking down the suicidal route. Because I just didn't fit in. I didn't feel like I fitted in anyway. I mean, with anyone, and even the lads that I served with that were still serving or got out, we lost contact, and it was a bit of a lonely time. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, I've got a family, I've got kids and stuff. I can't be lonely if I tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even sometimes I want to be, not in a nasty way. Sometimes you just need your peace, as any human being does. But as it comes to resettlements and stuff like that, there's nothing offered from the army, from the military, nothing at all. It's different nowadays. Those things have been changed. People get more support. The military is a lot more caring, if you like. But when in my generation, when I got out, about the time I got out, it wasn't the best. You know what I mean? We there's not, the information wasn't there. It was like, get your stuff and go sort of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, now I cope a lot better now. Obviously, I mean, I've created my own routine, my own way of life, and stuff like that. There is sometimes it creeps up on me where it's like I struggle and certain people, but I think that's just me learning to be human again, rather than being a military machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's been a tough few years. Like, harder back then than it is now. I think the biggest things for me was being a man, because obviously with the military, all your bills are paid, everything's sorted for you. You just go, get up in the morning, train 3-4 times a day, do what you gotta do, and then you go to bed. You know what I mean? Whereas now, it's like being a dad, being a man, providing, being the example for smaller people rather than the people around you and your peers, and just doing day-to-day man things, if you like. So being that husband and that dad is that's always been a challenge for me. Not that I find it hard, just that you never feel like you're doing good enough. I know a lot of people feel the same. You always want to do more and do better and be the better dad and the better husband, and that's never going to change that. You know what I mean? We all thrive and strive to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that's really important is something that I got told a couple of years back when I was working for it was a company that dealt with the Ministry of Defence, and a lot of people that worked there were quite regimented, and they were potentially ex-army or ex-navy. And that's kind of by the by, but some person said to me, don't ever let don't ever let good get in the way of perfect. That sometimes perfection is this like myth, and it's just this unicorn that doesn't actually exist, and what you're doing is enough to get you by and to get your family by and things. Because if you're constantly chasing perfection, it almost takes the fun out of doing the good, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's better to run at like 7 or 8 out of 10 than trying to always go for 10 out of 10, because I think as a family as well, as a father and as a mother, and obviously I'm not a mother, spoiler, but you kind of get what you can handle with kids.
Yeah.
I think we're quite adaptable and quite sort of, we can put up with a lot more shit than we realise, I think.
Yeah.
And
but that's where it goes back. We were saying chasing the unicorn and trying to be a 10 and being perfect. That's where the kicks in and says, no, you have to be perfect. You have to chase it. You You mean so as a
Yeah.
man, you can say, you know what, the kids are smiling, they're fed, watered, they got a roof over their head.
Mhm.
That'll do for now. You know what I mean? But as a
Yeah.
ex-military, it's like I need more, I need better, I need. Not it's not greed. It's just I
Yeah.
want to give. You know what I mean, as a giving
Yeah.
person, as a caring person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to go to bed knowing that A, you're exhausted, and B, that you're doing the best that you can with the resources that you
Yeah,
have and the
yeah.
opportunities that you can give. Have you ever met anyone that's left the army that's not been regimented and not been structured, and they've potentially gone off the rails and they've been quite manic and sort of the other side of the military? Because sometimes when you get told
Yeah.
to do something, it's the last thing that you want to do, isn't it? And you tend to go off the
Yeah,
rails a little bit.
yeah. Most of the people I serve with, most of the people that I know have gone like that and pulled themselves out the brink. And but yeah, it's very easy. I went through a phase of it where I went against the grain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's when the drinking starts and the aggression
Mm,
kicks in and the self hatred and all that. And it's just a downward spiral. The depression turns to anger, that
yeah.
turns to the drink.
Mm,
Been there for too many
mm,
years. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of people do go that way because. And another thing is that because you have a big drinking culture in the army, that when you do get out, it's normal to do it. You think it's
yeah.
normal, you know.
Mm,
So you just get stuck in and just drink all the time, and then you get to a point where you go, "Hang on, I've been drinking for 5 days.
yeah.
I'm drinking after work all the time, and it's just not good." Do you mean? But then it's the
Yeah.
line with borderline, and can you do it on your own? Most of the time, you said you can't. Most like with myself, I had to get help. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Now, if I do drink, it's at weekends. You know what I mean? And it's not an excessive.
yeah.
So only
Well,
because I've got and I put them first.
I hear this a lot with like the rehab and people checking themselves in because they think they've got a problem. And I think, is it a 12-step program? Is that the number 12 usually?
Uh,
And it's sort of trying to offset the bad habit and the bad addiction with something that's positive. So like you start jogging a lot, or you start meditating a lot, or training for a half marathon or something, and you're kind of swapping the bad with the good, but that can also get quite obsessive and quite addictive as well. So it's like, what is the right answer, you know?
So with me, I have a really strong focus. So I've got to have someone to focus on. Um, if I haven't, then that's when I start going off the rails a bit and drinking and being a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? But so
Yeah.
when I get a focus, I really focus. So it's like, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, and it's like, no, I say I'm going to run half marathon.
Mm,
I run a half marathon. Then the next week I go and do a full marathon. Then it's like, no, I'm going to do a 50 miler. You know what I mean? No, I'm going to do a 70 miler. No, I need to go more. I need to do 100 mile over 2 days. No, I need to do 100 mile in 24 hours. It's like can't just do one thing. I have to be dead focused on it. It's like when I started the brand right flank. It
yeah.
wasn't like I'll start it up and I'm going to give myself 5 6 months to get to this point, but it's just like no, all at once. And I'd
Mm,
literally do like work 14 hours with me commute, and then I'll come home and I'd work for like 5 6 hours on the brand. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's
I
just
do.
like really took over my life to the point where it's like I was neglecting everyone just
Mm,
to grow this brand, and I didn't even know why I was doing it in the end. It cost me friendships and stuff. So, um, yeah, that's like at the moment as well. My wife started a new business, and I am literally
yeah.
trying not to take over it and run it
Yeah, yeah,
for
I
her and
totally get that.
blow it up.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So I'm letting
Yeah.
her go on her own. So
Yeah.
it's tough. It really is tough. I have to have that focus. You know what I mean?
I think it's really tricky when people have startups and you can see the potential in the startup being successful. It's
Yeah,
very easy to kind of tread on people's toes. Like me and John, who's currently quite sick in his bed next to me, we have these very ambitious ideas with
yeah,
Absolute Bedlam as a podcast. And we also want to go out to like places and review food. And we also want to like pretend to interview Andrew Tate and like stupid things that might go viral, and just like the order of magnitude kind of knows no bounds sometimes. But
yeah,
it kind of sometimes it detracts from the actual good that you're trying to do, if that makes sense, because you don't obviously want to push. Is it your wife or your fiance?
My wife.
Yeah. So you don't want to like tell her how to run her business, but at the
No,
same time, you want to help steer that ship in the right direction, you know?
no, fuck it. I want to take over it and make it
You want to take,
fucking. I want to take over the fucking world of it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If
yeah,
someone gets in the way, I'm going to boot out the way. It's just
yeah, yeah,
because I want to succeed, and it's not about me being nasty or horrible, or it's I want her to succeed because I
yeah,
know potential she has. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
everything
completely.
that I've ever done, apart from when I've like got out the military and whatever. Everything that I ever done and ever do has always been for the benefit of someone else.
Yeah.
So it's like people turn around to me and say, "Oh,
Mm.
you made loads of money off your podcast and talking about this and talking about fallen comrades and stuff like that." I've not made one fucking penny out of podcasts, out of
Yeah.
YouTube, out of nothing. The money I made from Right Flank, I literally covered my capital, and the rest went to different charities. Every penny I've made from doing fitness and running and whatever and videos and viral stuff is all gone to charities. The stuff I did with Blood Bible and all that, didn't
Yeah.
see any of that. They got rich off that. You know what I mean? Not,
Mm.
I didn't get any of it. I
Mm.
requested them to send money to a charity and nothing happened. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But I've never.
Yeah.
I've actually lost money from doing the shit I've done. But
Yeah.
I
Mm.
my advice and my opinion in my life has helped people along the way. It's give them inspiration to do stuff. The money I've raised has helped dying children have a bit of a life before they go, and that's all that matters. Not
Yeah.
obviously dying, but giving someone a little wish before they go, or
Yeah.
helping someone along the way, or giving some advice to stop. Like even people in work turn around and go, "Oh, my head's battered from this, and this," and just having a 5 minute chat. Them to
Yeah.
go, "Nice, I feel better now," and they go home and attack the day. That's enough. You know what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
Like I said, I've never benefited from any of it. You know what I mean? It's actually made me worse. It's the podcast ruined me in a big way.
Okay.
Talking about my mates that I've lost and talking about my failures and stuff like that, and talking to people about their problems and listening to their problems, it just made me worse. It made me come
Mm.
back, it put my marriage on the rocks, and put me in a bad place. So me trying to help and do stuff makes me worse now. It used to help me in a way, but now it makes me
Yeah.
worse. So I try and choose my battles, if you like, and I don't talk too much, and I give a little bit of advice. And I've
Yeah.
become a bit of a lonely man. I've come off all social media.
Yeah.
Just keep myself to myself. And
Mm.
if someone needs help, then if they've got my number, then crack on. You mean I'm there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, I've sort of had to save my own skin in a way.
You've decreased your circle to allow you to have some time to yourself.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. If it affects me, it affects my kids. So I have to
Yeah.
step back. You know what
Was
I
the
mean?
podcast just a lot of time, or was it a lot of self-reflection? Like, what was the reason that it stopped, in your opinion?
Time is everything when you've got a family, as you know. I was literally
Yeah.
spending about an hour and a half, 2 hours filming every Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I'll spend about an hour or two editing. I did everything myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't the problem. The problem is as I was editing, I
Yeah.
was listening to everything that's just been said. Um, because obviously in my podcast, I was talking a bit about myself and relating and stuff.
Mm.
Um, and it's just digging up those memories and that past constantly. It was just repetitive mental fucking beatings, you know what I mean? And in the end, I was like, I'm gonna have to stop. I can't do it. And then I was coming home and I wasn't feeling it as much, but my wife was seeing it, you know what I mean? So if she
Yeah.
can see it, sense it.
Yeah.
I had to stop, you know what I mean? I just
Mm.
don't think I was cut out for that as much as I thought I was. I don't think I was as strong and healed as much as I thought I was. I think I was still struggling and suffering in such a way where I know now I'm still suffering, you know what I mean? And I'm still struggling with things. Um, Now I have to really focus and choose my battles and go, right now I need to step away from that. I need to look at this, I need to look at that. And most of the time, like most men, we're just suffering with every single day norm, raising kids, going to work, paying bills, keeping our women happy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most men will there now and go, fucking yeah, it's hard. It is fucking hard being a man. It really is.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
this is why there's so many male suicides, not from the army and stuff like that, just being a fucking man. You
Yeah.
know, it's like having to pay bills and stuff like that, and you miss one bill, and it's like you feel like you've fucked up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you feel
Yeah.
shit. And your baby cries, you're like, is this because of me? And you hold yourself accountable for fucking everything. And it's not even being an alpha. Sometimes just being just a man. It's just like it's fucking hard. You know what I mean? And then the way the world is nowadays, with the world, the way the world's being. I won't go too much into it, but
Yeah.
there was toxic masculinity and all that. We were told that we're toxic and all that. It's like, no, we're not at all. It's just trying to be a man and try and
Yeah.
provide and love, and you know what I mean? It's like saying that we're toxic when really we're all lovers, and we just want it back, but you don't get it as much as you'd like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you just keep giving and you just keep going and going and going. And
Yeah.
that's why a lot of men nowadays fall, because it's so hard to keep that face, to keep that example going,
Yeah.
you know?
I do. I
So,
think something that's worth mentioning as well, since I spoke to you last, I realized I had quite bad anxiety. So I would wake up most mornings and I would put my, phone in my face, turn my alarm off, which was connected to my phone. I would open, Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp, and I'd have like loads and loads of messages. And that's the first thing you're greeted with. And it just made me almost want to go back to sleep because
yeah,
I've got so many people not relying on me. That's not the right word, but I've got a couple of people that rely on me. And I think that is such an awful way to wake up, where
yeah,
everyone is like shouting, like viscerally sort of trying to get your attention. So I've learned how to sort of compartmentalize things and deal with things in a smaller way rather than sending 86 emails in 30 minutes
yeah,
because stuff can wait. And I know that's like quite hard for people to understand sometimes, but
yeah.
yeah, it can get a bit manic, can't it? Life when you're trying to juggle more than like three balls in the air at the same time.
Family and kids and stuff like that, and going to work is enough to put a man in the grave,
Yeah,
alone. So I had the same thing. I was having hundreds of emails and
yeah,
messages and stuff, on social media, and I was running different support groups and welfare sites and stuff like that. To the point where it's like I thought to myself, the only thing that's keeping me alive now is if I do commit suicide, I am letting all these people down, and I am not the success story that they think I am, which could cause them to do the same. In my
yeah,
eyes, I was like, I stay alive to keep these people alive. And in the end, it was like, it's these, it's this responsibility that's fucking killing me. You know what I mean? Mentally
yeah,
inside.
yeah,
I had to step away from it. I had to go, you know what? I have to be selfish. I had to step away because
yeah.
my family needed me. And if
Mm,
I if I do myself in, then where does that leave my daughter? You know what I mean?
completely. Yeah, yeah.
I had to step away. You know what I mean?
Something, yeah. Something that I learned with anxiety and CBT was like you are a bridge, and there's only so much weight a bridge can take, and then the bridge
Yeah,
will collapse, and then you're fucked. And if you're fucked, then everyone that relies on you is subsequently fucked because you can't provide them with the support because you're in bed for 48 hours or you've done something mental, God forbid.
yeah,
Or, you know, there's a thing where I hear this all the time now. I didn't realize how like prevalent it was, but like when a plane gets turbulence, you're told to put your face mask on first
yeah,
before helping everyone else.
yeah,
And I thought that that's actually quite a good way of seeing it, that you've got to look after yourself and then everything else falls into place. But also, when you've got a job, a podcast, kids, friends, family, other stuff, football club, you've got to look at it and think, right, what can I stop doing and still enjoy my life? Because it's a lot to try to be working at optimum efficiency, isn't it? If you're trying to do seven or eight things
yeah,
constantly, you've got to, like you did, you took your foot off the pedal and said, right, I can't do the podcast anymore.
yeah.
And I think that reflection's quite good sometimes
Definitely,
to enjoy things rather than feel obligated to do them, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
been the passion dies. That's it. There's no point.
Yeah. Last question, we'll go to a quick break and then we'll go to number two. Do you still get people come up to you and talk about that Lad Bible video, which was young veteran versus old veteran?
Yeah, yeah. People still recognize, like, come up to me and go, "Oh, I recognize you. I recognize you." And I just stay quiet. I go, "Yeah." And then you go, "You're on Lad Bible, weren't you?" I go, "Yeah." You go,
Yeah.
blah blah. It's not as much nowadays. I
Yeah.
think that time, 2018. I think that time's dead now. But yes, still 38 million views. She's still going well with it. Like,
Definitely.
but yeah, not as much now. Like, I think
Hmm.
that sailed now. Thank God.
Without sounding disrespectful, what was the name of the older gentleman that's now passed away?
No, he's still with us. He's still
Is
with us.
he? Okay.
Yeah, John Bennett. Yeah, he's 100. He's 100 this month. We're gonna go and see him next week.
That's fucking mental.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Okay, I thought you said that he'd popped his clogs a couple of. I don't know where I heard that then. I must just be
no,
dreaming. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Another Normandy veteran passed away not so long ago.
Hmm.
But no, still with us. I'm gonna go and see him next week. Wish him happy birthday and that. And yeah, he's doing all right. He's not as quick on his feet as he used to be.
Yeah.
He's volley like, but he's still going. Like, he's still a trooper. So
Absolutely. Yeah. That's crazy. Is he fairly local to your area, or is it like a weekend
yeah,
conscious
no,
trip to see him?
no, he's about probably about 15 mile away,
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, I can get there in less than an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, all good.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad to hear that he's all right. Yeah, 100's some good going, isn't it? 100 years of
Oh yeah,
life.
that's it. What he's
Yeah.
been through as well.
Does the king send you a letter instead of the queen now if you turn 100? Is that a thing?
I would have thought so. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll imagine
you
so.
have to
Yeah,
ask him. Yeah,
yeah.
get him to
I'll
send me a
speak.
voice note.
Definitely, definitely.
It's going to be a slightly sort of shorter episode than usual, just because it's a kind of catch up. And I've already asked Steve everything ever from when we spoke about 3 years ago. So if you want to go check that out, go check it out on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. But someone that I wanted to speak about, because obviously you know him, and I think potentially we sort of networked after speaking to you, me and John. Do you still speak to Nick Dunn? And what's he
I
up to
don't.
these days? You don't speak to him?
I No, I haven't spoken to him for a long time. Obviously, I come off social media and that. So I lost touch a little bit. I think I've still got his number.
Yeah.
I think, but no. Uh,
Hmm.
we just stopped talking. I think it's because of social media that we were in touch, and he was commenting on stuff, and I was commenting on stuff. And
Yeah.
when you come on social media, you do lose a lot of friends, and then you realize that the people that are close to you, who they
Hmm.
are. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But no, I hope he's doing well. He's a top lad, and that was a good
Yeah.
podcast. That absolute top podcast. But yeah, I hope he's doing really well. I'll have a look at this for his number. Might drop him a
Yeah.
text. So,
Yeah. I've got
yeah,
him on Instagram. I don't really use Facebook much anymore because I just find that it's just all bullshit, to be completely honest. I
yeah,
do something really, really brutal on Facebook. If I haven't spoken to you in 6 to 12 months and it's your birthday and I genuinely don't care about you, I'll delete you on your birthday.
I
Because Facebook's
really,
telling me that it's your birthday. So, like, a
yeah,
lot of people try to sort of go, A to Z in their friends list, and they try to cull their friends, and they get to like D,
Yeah.
E, and they get bored. So that's
Yeah.
my way of like sort of allowing Facebook to help me. But I just
Yeah.
find it's all bollocks, man. Like people talking in photo albums, people can't spell the word your. It's got a fucking E on the end of it. I just find that it's this constant sea of just
Yeah.
embarrassing shit that people think they need to tell everyone about. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Instagram, but it's my biggest platform for ABP.
Yeah.
But
It's
I'm
it's
trying.
because life's, like I said, we talked previously, the life's so chocker as it is. I just have not got time for any of that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I sit there, like years ago, I'd sit there online and just argue with people over fucking
yeah,
spelling. Now I couldn't give a fuck. If you're illiterate, that's sound.
yeah, yeah,
Enjoy.
yeah. Just learn to let go and not let it bother you too much. But I am trying to get off my phone after 10 p.m. at the moment, because otherwise it's just this
Yeah.
constant scroll, email, deal with it now, put an Instagram post up, and 2 in the morning, and get annoyed that it doesn't get many likes, and just it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, isn't it? Social media, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's important to
Yeah.
kind of get out of the restaurant and say, "I've had enough. I can't do anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get a take. Fuck it.
yeah, absolutely. Um, have you got any questions for me at all? Anything you want?
Why is John in bed next to you?
So I think he's got the flu.
Oh,
He messaged me this morning saying I feel awful, and because I record at his house, he's got a really good desktop. We've got a really good ring light situation going on. Got a good webcam. Got a good microphone, and I can record from my house, but it's a bit more of a challenge because I actually record in my kitchen at my house. So it
right.
is like the center of the house, and my girlfriend kind of has to tiptoe around me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think he's all right. I think he's a workaholic, and he doesn't stop, much like you probably, until he is completely exhausted,
Yeah.
and then he lets his body rest, and he allows himself to get more than 8 hours sleep. And yeah, I think he'll pull through though. It's all right.
Semi regards, mate.
We'll do. Yeah, of course. Anything else at all?
No, it's good to speak to you, mate. It's good to see you.
You too.
You're looking well.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Devo.
need to get jogging a bit more. I managed 4K yesterday because I'm trying to get back on it. But
Perfect. Well done.
like what we were just talking about, it's sometimes it's the bottom of the priorities, and actually it should be near the top. It's your health.
Yeah, but don't
Um,
beat yourself about it. You
yeah,
mean you,
the hardest thing is getting your fucking shoes on. That's when you're going out, and you know that whatever the weather, whatever the world presents to you, you have to push through and open that door. And
yeah,
I'm quite motivated, but sometimes it's literally just finding that couple of hours to actually have the time to do it and not feel
yeah.
rushed.
You gotta make time for yourself. As hard as it is, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You have to. But now, good effort. Keep going.
yeah,
Well done.
we'll do. Have you got any more sort of crazy marathon charity events this year, or are they all on the back burner for the time being?
Now I've promised myself and my wife that I'm not doing nothing else now until at least the end of next year. I'll
Yeah,
literally take some time out just to get working and spend time with family and holidays and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because as you know, like I said, it just takes over my life. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm just chilling and just relaxing and training 2-3 times a week. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. Literally it.
Trying to
So
help your
no,
wife's empire. Yeah,
exactly. When I do start doing stuff though, when I have got an idea what I'm going to do, I've got a few ideas. I'll let you know, and then
yeah,
we'll have
yeah.
another chat.
Yeah, it's good to have
So
ideas. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
definitely
Probably the last two questions I've got. These are a bit mental. They're not
go on.
army related, but
Good.
do you still live in Liverpool?
I do. Yeah.
How often do you have to take the bins out? And do you
I
know
prob-
which bin you have to take out which week, or is it all at once?
So it's every Tuesday. So the Monday night, so just put my grey bin out now. Next week is me brown bin, which is recycling. The grey one's the general waste, and the green one goes out once a month on a Monday.
Fair enough. And
I feel
do
that.
you set the example? Are you a binfluencer, or do you
No,
copy what the person next to you does?
no, I look out the window and look at a sea of brown bins and go, shit,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gone
yeah,
again.
yeah. 3 in the morning,
Yeah, you just
chasing
me
after the bins. Yeah, love it. I think I probably know the answer to this, but we'll go for it anyway. There's 1 hour left before the end of the world.
Yeah.
You can go wherever you want. You can teleport. You can teleport as many times as you want, and you can be with whoever you want. How would you spend your last hour on Earth before it all ends?
If I can teleport,
Yeah, any way you want.
right. Teleport, shoot Tom Hanks in the face, teleport back, and then play with me kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And make it fun for them. No,
Interesting answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Hope that doesn't get you cancelled, mate.
Nah, that's all right. It'll go on TikTok. It'll get 4,000 views and then nothing will happen. Because that's apparently how TikTok works, is it doesn't convert into anything other than on TikTok. It's weird. I don't understand it.
Hashtag shoot Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Fair enough. We'll talk off this podcast as to why. But yeah, all good. Right, well, I'm going to leave you to it because I've got patient zero next to me and I want to make sure that he's still alive. And yeah, stay in touch and reach out to Nick and send my regards.
I will, bro.
And
I will.
yeah, all good. Right. Well, it's been lovely speaking to you as always.
You too.
And thanks everyone for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. I promise I'll sort Spotify out at some point when I've actually got 5 minutes. But yeah, lovely. Right. See you later.